Hi, on today's video, I will wrap up all the reasons that led me to write my own piano book for beginners. So we already talked about the excessive use of fingering, and we also talked about visual pollution in the other videos. Today, I will start with musical concepts, starting with the use of sharps and flats. Most piano books for beginners, when they introduce sharps, they will tell the students that sharp is the next black key to the right and flat is the next black key to the left. We musicians, we know that's not correct, don't we? And then we look at it and that's not right. So, but it doesn't happen only in one book or two. Many of them will explain in this way. So let's look now at the AB Guide to Music Theory, Part 1 by Eric Taylor. Yeah? So on page 11, when Taylor is talking about pitches, he says about the sharp. Because the sharp sign always raises a note a semitone, and the flat sign always lowers it a semitone. White notes on the keyboard can also be written and named in different ways. And then he gives some examples. So we're talking here about semitone. Yes, not about black or white keys. So for a beginner, we don't need to introduce this concept of semitone and tone, which is fine. But they can easily understand that a sharp raises a note, we play a sharp. When you see the sharp sign, you're gonna play the next key to the right. It doesn't matter if it's white or black. And when you see the flat sign, you're gonna play the next key to the left. It doesn't matter if white or black. So what do I do in the classroom? I will show them. I will of course explain about, I will ask them to find, for example, let's talk about sharps. Find, so here's C, C sharp, D, D sharp. So I will skip E for now and ask, can you find F sharp for me? G sharp, A sharp, and then can you find E sharp for me, please? And they usually go to the F sharp, and I say again, remember the next key to the right, E sharp, and they go. And then I explain, okay, so the next key to the right from E is this key. Ah, but this is F. They will say, but this is F. This is F. Yes, this is F. But E sharp and F, they are on the same place. They are placed on the same place on the piano. They have the same sound on the piano, but they have different names. The same happens with B sharp and C. Then I explained that for now, for the moment, we're not gonna go deep into this subject because you're not gonna need it in the music for now, but that in the future, we're gonna go deeper in this concept because you're gonna start, people are gonna start using it, and then I'm gonna go deeper in the subject. But for now, we just need to know A sharp is the next key to the right. It doesn't matter if white or black. Fine, that's great. So easy to understand, and the same goes with the flats. What we cannot do as tutors is teach the concept in a wrongly manner. For then in the future, we're gonna have to deconstruct the concept and tell the child or the teenager or something else. Yes, no, we just teach them right from the beginning, and in the future we add up more information to it. That's it, simple. It's fair for people, it's fair for the teacher as well. Great. Okay. Another thing that always bugged me, bugged me on those books were about rests. I'm sure you all have seen this before. Let's have a look on rests. Oh yeah, so it's still on the subject of sharps. Yes, so this book is one of the most used books in the US. Okay, they say, when a sharp is placed before a note, play the nearest black key to the right. And then Marcia goes there and on the word black. You know that's not right, yeah? This is one of the best-selling books for beginners in UK. It says, when you see this sign in front of a note, you must play the black note immediately above. Ta-da! So just some examples, shall we see? Now, about the rests. What most authors do, before they introduce rests, they will write musics in the beginner's book that need rests, but they will not gonna write the rests where there should be rests. For example, here. So here, author didn't thought about rests yet, so she won't use any rests. And we know as musicians, this is incorrectly written, okay? So, but for some reason here on the page before, she made use of some rests and didn't use rests in the rest of the music, or even on this, okay? Okay, for example, take a look at this one. She placed some rests here and here, but no rests on the bass clef. And this is a book published by Oxford. A book published by Oxford. And what did she do on the last two musics of the book? For some reason, she used rests on the top tune, but no rests at the bottom tune. So the child will ask you why, and I will say, well, she forgot, but there should be rests. We can write the rests together, the missing rests together. But then that's cause a problem as well, because people will be like, should I believe on my teacher or should I believe on a person that published a book? So more confusion for the child, and that's not what we want, is it? Okay, so what do I do in Pianoville? Before introducing rests, the concept of rests, I avoided writing any music where I needed rest, where rests were needed, okay? So no rests. Then, when I introduce rests here, then on page 16, I introduced rests. Yeah, in a very simple way, always simple, okay? The vocabulary and everything, but doesn't matter how simple it is, it must be correct. Okay, but on pages 11 and 12, I didn't write any rests on purpose. As you can see, that's not correct, yeah? We should have rests. But after talking about rests, I will ask my people, add the missing rests on pages 11 and 12. So he or she will have to go back and, wow, it's wrong. Yes, and you're gonna fix it with the help of your teacher. Your teacher is gonna help you to fix it. Okay, so those two exercises were made on purpose. So people will come back and correct it and make it right. And then from then on, all rests are in place. There is not even one rest missing on the musics. If you find one, let me know, because I will correct it immediately. Okay, so what else you have? Okay, let's just to finish everything, let's also talk about the visual pollution, yeah? So I just wanted to bring some examples. Like these books, yes? Full of illustrations when they explain about theory. They play so many elements, visual elements. It's difficult to find... it says finding your way, but it's really difficult finding my way here. So, and it's difficult for me, imagine for the child, even more, isn't it? So, or for example, books like that, they will, where there are some like monsters pointing out the notes, showing the notes. Where was it? Just a moment. Like that. And illustrations are placed in the middle of the staves. So disrupting the music, the flow of the music, of the tune. So, and then, and usually on these books, the theoretical contents will be all around the page. So they will explain about theory all around the page. And to eliminate this problem, this visual pollution as well, what I did with Pianoville was, each section of the book, at the very beginning, what I do, I explain the musical concepts I need to at the very beginning of each section. Okay, so everything clean and organized here. And then when you go to the practical part of the lesson, no visual pollution, nothing. Okay, just the strictly necessary, nothing else. Okay, for example, next chapter, next session, theory first. After theory, the practical part of the lesson, clean, clear, and that's it. So the idea behind Pianoville was for me as a teacher to have a method that was clean, all the excess from the other books, too much fingering, too much visual elements, too much theoretical elements around the page. It was to clean everything, okay, and make the method, the lesson, very practical, and the rhythm of the lesson could flow better. Okay, so that was the ideas behind Pianoville. I hope you enjoy it, and from next videos I will start explaining about the interdisciplinary elements of the book and how text, images, and musical elements can be connected to one another to support the learning in your one-to-one classes. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye.